Hello everyone, this is Bhuvaneshwari and our team we are going to talk about ITC brand. ITC Limited is an Indian global aggregate organization headquartered in Kolkata, West Bengal, established in 1910 as the Magnificent Tobacco Company of India Limited. The organization was renamed as the Indian Tobacco Company Limited in 1970 and then to ITC constraint in 1974. The specs in the name were expelled in September 2001 and the organization was renamed as ITC Limited. The organization completed 100 years in 2010 and during 2012 to 13 it had a yearly turnover of 8.31 billion and a market capitalization of dollar 52 billion. It employs more than 30,000 individuals in over 60 areas in India and is part of the Forbes 2000 rundown. History and how ITC was started. Tobacco business. Since the organization was to a great extent dependent on horticultural assets, it wandered into associations in 1912 with the ranchers of southern India for sourcing leaf tobacco. Under the organization's umbrella, the Indian Leaf Tobacco Development Company Limited was framed in the Guntur area of Andhra Pradesh in 1912. The principal cigarette processing the plant of the organization was set up in 1913 in Bangalore. In 1918, leaf purchasing focuses were made in southern India. ITC cigarette manufacturing plant at Mangar was outfitted with a printing office in 1925, clearing the path for its first non-tobacco business. Even though the initial 6 years of the company's presence were essentially committed to the development and union of cigarettes and leaf tobacco organizations, ITC's bundling and printing business were set up in 1925 as a key in the reverse mix for ITC cigarettes business. It is today India's most complex bundling house. More industrial facilities were set up in the next years for cigarette producing capacity all over India. In 1928, development started for the organization's central command, the Virginia House at Calcutta. ITC procured Carrera's Tobacco Company's plant at Kidderpur in 1935 to further fortify its essence. ITC set up an indigenous cigarette tissue paper production plant in 1946 to essentially lessen import costs. An industrial facility for printing and bundling was set up at Madras in 1949. The company obtained the assembling business of Tobacco Manufacturers India Limited and the integral lithographic printing business of Printers India Limited in 1953. Thank you.
Business model and marketing strategy of ITC. Established in 1910 as Imperial Tobacco Company of India, the organization at first managed tobacco items for a considerable length of time before broadening into non-tobacco items during the 1970s. ITC from that point forward has developed as a multi-business combination having business in different enterprises: hotels, lifestyle retail stores, prepared to eat division, confectionery segment, paperboards portion, body care items and so forth. IT is one of the India's prominent multi-business ventures with a market of capitalization of 52 billion pounds and a gross sales value of 10 billion pounds. ITC is crowned among the world's best big companies, Asia's Fab 50, the world's most renowned companies by Forbes magazine, and as India's most admired company in an overview directed by Fortune India magazine and Hay Group. ITC was also included as one of the world's biggest practical worth makers in the Buyer Merchandise in an examination by the Boston Consulting Group. ITC has been recorded among India's most valuable companies by business. Today magazine, the company is among India's 10 among most valuable brands, as indicated by an investigation led by Brand Finance and distributed by the Economic Times. ITC likewise positions itself among Asia's 50 best performing organizations arranged by Businessweek. Brand value. ITC has been positioned 772 on Forbes magazine rundown of top 2000 organizations all around. The brand has been esteemed at £51.5 billion as of June 2018. ITC also found a place at 239th position in the universe best bosses rundown of Forbes magazine and Asia's 50 greatest performing organizations rundown assembled by Businessweek. Distribution. The organization works with its business channel. Items are made accessible to the discount vendors through carried and forward agents, that is CFAs, which is then sent to the retailers in towns directly or through small wholesale dealers to reach the customers in the remotest of Indian areas.
Good day all, this is Muhammad Dubail. Now I am going to explain about ITC's diversification strategy. Now ITC is a big brand. In 1979 they diversified their business and started with business of manufacturing paper boards. They created a separate company for paperboard business, namely Bhadrachalam Paperboards Limited. They were performing well in India and it was now time to expand overseas. In 1985, they started their cigarette and tobacco business in Nepal. Later on, in 2002, it became the subsidiary of ITC Limited and was named as Surya Nepal Private Limited. In 1990, ITC acquired Tripani Tissues Limited, TTL. It was the same company which manufactured paper for their cigarette business. Earlier, they outsourced business and now they started in-house production of the same. In 2002, ITC merged Bhadrachalam and TTL and made it a single group. In 2004, they acquired another paperboard industry, BIPCO. It was done to reduce their lead time due to the increased demand of their product. Strategy of ITC enhanced its customer service. They also entered into business of exporting the garments. Agriculture entrance of ITC. E-Chopal. E-Chopal business model is of very great significance. In 1990, ITC stepped into agriculture sector. They had an advantage of excellent sourcing capacity. They started with concept of E-Chopal. It enabled the farmers to sell their products with the help of internet. It helped ITC to maintain an inventory with them, which helped them in making one of the largest global exporter. Today, ITC has more than 40 lakhs farmers associated with them. E-Chopal started from Madhya Pradesh where ITC partnered with soybeans farmers. This initiative by ITC totally revolutionized the agricultural sector. The farmers had easy access to mandi prices, good farming practices and order placement for agricultural input, etc. There are approximately 6,100 e-Chopals that are currently functioning in more than 35,000 villages in 10 states. E-Chopal eliminated the middlemen who exploited farmers with their discriminatory prices. ITC entrance into stationery. ITC Classmate. Before entering the stationery sector, ITC made some changes in their name. Indian Tobacco Company, that is I.T.C, was renamed to ITC. The dots were removed, that is, the abbreviation is now the name of the company. This was done to eliminate the tobacco from their name as they wanted to enter into stationery market. In 2003, ITC started with Classmate. ITC Classmate grew very rapidly. many students started purchasing classmates' notebooks and registers. Today, classmates in 2007 to 2009, Classmate came up with practical books, drawing books, geometry boxes, pens and pencils. ITC Limited is a leading FMCG company in India for the last 3 consecutive years. It has shown accelerated growth in FMCG portfolio. ITC has placed itself successfully as a market leader in various verticals and will continue to dominate through several brands. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.